I'm gonna go live now, but... Oh goodness, my voice. Maybe I do need more water. Also, we're going live now because I've delayed this long enough. I will solve the technical difficulties on stream. But also, why is capturing Magic the Gathering Arena? Okay, there we go. Now it's finally working. So I gotta do some sort of tutorial or something, right? Should probably get that taken care of first, honestly.
Wake up! Wake up! Whew, looks like you barely survived your last battle, but with some...
Yo, Ash is in the chat. Alright, okay, so I guess we're doing like tutorial and stuff. Are we starting a call? Should we start a call? Fuck, I forgot to update. Did I forget to update the thing again? I could have sworn I updated that earlier. Between this and forgetting that OBS is like right there pinned on the taskbar. This is gonna be a bimbo bunny stream. I am complete airhead mode. My ability to form coherent thought is not doing so well.
Good. You don't have enough lands to cast anything yet. So that's all you can do right now. Play another land so you can summon a creature. You can summon creatures to fight for you.
So is it me or is the volume kind of loud? Oh wow, yeah, I had that like way up. Oh, started a call. Okie doke. Alright, gonna allow. Hello!
Ooh. Meow.
Mao indeed.
one of your
the
creatures is ready to
togethering.
attack.
I'll start you off with a white then. Just regular 2/2s, I don't feel anything.
Hold on, I think I need to turn the game down a bit more. And maybe turn you up. You sound really quiet on
Oh,
my
I don't sound
end.
very loud.
You're at max user volume though. I don't know why Discord is so weird about this, where it's always I always think like I can barely hear this person. I need to turn up their volume, and then they're already at max volume that I can adjust in the call. So like Discord, why do you keep it so quiet?
Give us more volume option, like 300%, 400%. Maybe start sounding crackly at that point, I don't know.
Keep pressing the attack. Ah, you've been blocked.
I have also
Admirable.
been holding in a
Pity
piss
I have
for
to
way
crush
too
you.
long.
Well, maybe you should have taken care of that before. Just forgot about
That's
it,
a
one of
big
those.
problem.
Yeah, but then there's like the dog in the bedroom. She's gonna be barking if I go in there.
That
to get
beast
to the
will destroy your
bathroom,
creatures if you
so
attack
then I
now.
gotta like warn Foxglove. Like, hey, can you like grab the dog so she doesn't bark and lunge and shit at me again? This dog does not like tall people.
That's unfortunate.
We all thought that like eventually she would like slowly get over it, but it's weird that like it seemed like she was getting used to me for a while, and then all of a sudden she started being like way more aggressive again. So it's like
Have they gotten you to feed her treats or anything?
I tried that when I like first arrived here, and the dog literally just like turned the other way and wouldn't even acknowledge the treat.
Oh, unfortunate.
Fucking passive aggressive little dog. Hopefully once I get the whatever it was, the low income housing in Cleveland or whatever. Like, what am I? Okay, hold on. What am I supposed to do?
So,
Like, they got.
so seeing that it's an 8/8, you can't kill it, but also you can't not defend it because you only have 7 HP. So that 2/2 is the best choice.
Yeah, this feels like a not ideal situation no matter what I do.
Yeah, it's basically the kind of like everything's a resource you can spend.
Hold on. How do I unselect this?
You have, I think you can just click on something else. Yeah.
That doesn't seem to unselect it though.
It's not blocking it anymore, if that's what you mean.
Oh, it's not no block. Okay, the red is selected, and then I have to like point at. Okay, now
Yeah, point at which creature you want to block.
I may be stupid.
I mean, it's also far removed from Pokemon, where you just do an attack and it attacks the active Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess there's an extra layer of complexity here that's like... There's like multiple things like active at once to deal with.
Yeah. It's
Take
much
down
like
that beast
like
while
a
it's still
like
recovering.
compared to like your fortress deck. You give yourself a disadvantage with your fortress deck to later come back stronger. Like there are advantages to maybe losing a bit of health or something instead of always using them to block.
You're not making this easy.
All kind of depends, but
I think I heard most of that and I got the gist of it.
yeah, I'm pretty bad at explaining things.
It's not that. The game is still just like way louder than you, even though it's turned so far down. Because
Oh
Discord
no.
just wants voice calls to be like ridiculously quiet.
Cornered.
Cast the spell. Clear a path to finish her.
Well fought, outsider.
Yeah, I am having a full stupid brain right now. This will probably be a short stream. I also, yeah, I really need to use the bathroom. Hold on, I need to like message Foxglove first. I am back, finally.
Welcome
Welcome,
back.
Drago. Okay, we're kind of just doing like... I just recently
Ooh,
reinstalled Arena, so I gotta send
You've unlocked a new
tutorial
card.
and stuff again.
Yeah, good work back there. But if you're going to battle another Planeswalker, you've got to be prepared for anything.
Rear ball.
Okay, maybe worry just a little bit.
Aha! Second blood! Alright.
You need to mount a defense.
Pretty goblins.
The way mouse is also so weird that, like...
I think you can also just pull it
double
and also work. Yeah.
do it.
If you have a proper mouse, it might be easier, but it feels like you're playing trackpad, is it?
Am I stuck with this on my hand? I'm left.
Oh, I think you just put it
clicking
back in
up
there.
until it finally registered.
Maybe right-clicking as well, I'm not sure.
It's like no block.
Yeah. The rest
I
get
have
through,
not
but the good
played
news
this
is
in
you would...
so long.
Yeah, you don't lose your
It has
creature at
been
least,
so,
and then they
so
heal all
long.
damage. Foxglove! Check that posture, Lily. Well, mine's been suffering. I like crinked my back yesterday, and this has been absolute pain.
Sanctuary cat. I'm going to bathe a kitty.
Your creatures aren't tough enough to survive being blocked. Hold them back.
Hello, welcome, Foxglove. Also, posture check, yes. My laptop is also getting, like, really warm. Holy crap, what the heck.
Nobody kills my troop.
You realize the last time I played this was in 1994, so I'm gonna have no idea what's going on. I guess everyone in the chat has not played in a while. Unless, actually, I should probably ask Drago. I need to talk to them more. But everybody else here then has had a significant hiatus from this game.
Ow, ow, ow! Where's an army of expendable minions when you need one? Oh, here it is.
Nice defense. He'd be a fool to attack you
Tutorials
now.
are a bit straightforward for the most part. Do this move. Oh no, your IRL cards were stolen!
No, the kitty!
Never hold back. Never back down. Never walk barefoot in a goblin warren.
Yeah, I've recently rebuilt
The
a small
sacrifice
collection
shall
and I've
not
made
be
like
in vain.
a few commander
2014,
decks and
I think
things
all
like
the cards
that.
were stolen. Oof. I think mine was like 2015.
It's time to bring the
I
pain.
know Ash said that she also stopped playing around that time.
This is going to
Got back
hurt.
into it like a year ago. I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, around when Kamigawa Neon Dynasty came out, and I was like, this art is awesome. And there was some Yoji Shinkawa collaborations too, and I was...
God, I cannot hear you at all.
Yeah, the art is great. And Yoji Shinkawa's, it's actually, I built a commander deck around that one card. It gives all of the cards in your hand in Jutsu, which lets you replace attacking cards with them.
Hold on, let me try something. If I turn that up to max and then turn the game down specifically, I just realized that I turned like the entire computer down out of habit, which is probably also affecting Discord then. I should be going like into the speakers and then specifically lowering Magic's volume. Okay, try talking now.
Oh. Have you changed the volumes?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better now.
Whee! Yeah, not only is it a giant boy, but it also, the rules that it has basically just means that it kills the person instantly when it attacks.
What card are you referring to?
Oh, Blightsteel Colossus. Combo. There's a combo I have in a ninja deck that I have. My commander gives all the cards in my hand ninjutsu, which lets you pay mana to replace attacking cards that haven't been blocked this turn. And there's a card called Blightsteel Colossus that gives you like 10 infect counters, and that basically just means you die.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
I
kinda
actually did end
funny.
up getting the Megatron card.
Oh, nice.
Because Blightsteel Colossus by itself costs about $40 to get as a single, if you wanted to just like buy it off the card market. But they were doing a secret lair where it's like $40 and they like 3 cards, and one of them was Blightsteel Colossus Megatron Tank, and it's like, wow, how like cool, that's awesome.
Nice. Honestly,
But I've
though,
also stopped getting Magic since then
yeah, I kind of,
because fuck them.
yeah.
You're a
Wizards
quick
of the
learner.
Coast
So let's
moment.
try a more
Also,
challenging
yeah, I kind
Yeah,
of,
they started getting
Follow
worse.
me to Ixalan.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
There's a mystic there who spent his life
yeah,
studying
anyway,
the
like,
nuances of combat.
another thing is, like, I'm kind of thinking that, like, maybe right now I probably still won't really have, like, time to do much, like, IRL card-wise, nor the money for it, even if it is relatively cheap.
Stay
There's
patient
just
and keep an open
so
mind.
many other things.
If it is wisdom you seek, I
Yeah.
will teach you.
More important things to spend money on, more pressing matters, I suppose.
Exactly, like a fighting game about quadruped farming.
Birds fly
Lols.
freely, unfettered by earthly
I
bonds.
half joke because like that is genuinely something that like I know a lot of you played and like I want to take part. I want to do more like multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, we need to get you a good pad.
Yeah, that's another issue now is like we need a controller that actually works right with the game.
Literally something that can read diagonal inputs, because you cannot play fighting games without that.
Everything is connected.
Yeah, like
You must understand.
what is the
air,
point of
land,
having
and sea.
joysticks if they literally only register like straight up, straight down, straight left, straight right? Give
That
me
bird could
enough with
fly
the
over
straight
any
directions.
blocks
Give
on
me the gay directions.
Give me the K, yeah, I was gonna say that too.
All right, you give it a shot.
Enchant the kitty.
Good. You've been paying attention.
More kitty. Oh, there's the sanctuary cat again. Sanctuary, a sanctuary cat. I don't know, that just
May block
happened.
your path, but do not lose sight of your true goal.
Is that crab wearing a pirate hat?
Oh my god, it is. That's amazing. Pirate crab. Sponge boy me bob.
Boy, Bob.
You did that way better than I did. My throat
I
was
enjoy
not...
imitating voices.
I normally do as well, but my throat is like not in a position to do that today.
Oh, I get that too. All the old wolf art. Oh, for magic cards.
Huh? What are you referring to?
Oh, I was just referring to what Foxcliff said in chat. Just looking at all the old wolf cards.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, wolf kid.
Oh, the wolf cards. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. A Megatron card also comes up when looking at it.
I like the rats. Yeah, the Megatron card. There was the Megatron card. There was another one that was Optimus Prime. I believe it was based off Darksteel Colossus or some other thing. And there was also the Allspark.
Also, Dino Dance Party. Always Dino Dance Party in chat.
They also just did a whole Lord of the Rings set, which was kind of cool. I got really into the Warhammer 40k set that they did because, oh my god, they did that one good. I'm kind of a fucking 40k nerd.
I have
If you keep to the
I have
shadows,
not
You'll never
gotten into
learn the
40k
secrets
yet,
of the
but I've
depths.
heard about it, and I feel like
Wow,
it's one of
that
those
sounds
things
deep.
where if I do get into it, it's going to consume all of my time with like the deep lore and stuff.
Yeah, it's the one thing to keep in mind is everything is fucking stupid. It's just absolute bonkers. Yeah, I'd originally gotten into Magic. It was like one of like I had a few older friends because I did like a co-op thing for high school in like a computer shop, and I started playing D&D with like some people my age and some few older people who ran the shop and stuff, and then like we were
This is
playing
just
Magic, and they kind
so
of introduced me to all this
majestic.
D&D and Magic stuff, like. I say kids my age, I mean 17, 18.
The student
Kids.
is a river.
Kinda.
That was a long time ago for you then. But
What, 15 years now?
now you're MILF cat.
Her folk. So,
Yeah,
I
legitimately.
don't know who this guy is.
I apologize.
The Knight's Pledge. Just base boost that creature into oblivion.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, they can't block it because they got no flyers. Lovely.
Exactly. The way of the green deck is coming back to me with just like stacking as many buffs as possible. Only know old school stuff from my father being into it. My dad was like
Okay.
my
you're
dad
almost
was
ready
like
to take on
Gen
anyone,
X,
including
and then
whoever roughed
I
you up in
was
the
like
first place.
right at like
For your
the
last
border
lesson,
between
let's
like
head to
millennial
Tarkir
and Gen
to learn
Z.
the art of surprise.
So like there's a big generation gap there. Like my parents had me pretty old by today's standards.
Oh god, my parents were like the nerdiest my dad was like he watched Star Trek. That was it.
I think for my dad it was like comic books and stuff, especially like Batman. That's like
Watch her
one of the
every move.
only things
Be ready
that I
for
had in
anything.
common with my parents.
Yeah, no, I don't have much in common. They're fine. They're not awful. They're fine. But I just don't have much in common. Like, because my dad's like outdoorsy and likes to work like 100% all the time, and he's always got a project going, and he likes to go fishing, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's something
Go
that
on,
like
attack me.
my dad tried to get me into at various points. Like, oh, we gotta do like the hunting and the fishing, cause the father son bonding activity. Bond with me, Jimmy.
Bond with me.
Eventually, he kind of gave up on that, at least.
Yeah, I might too. Like, I don't mind going every now and then if it's just for like an afternoon or something, but this is genuinely just like relaxing to go out on the lake and just sit in a boat. But
This is my
it's the bugs, it's the mosquitoes, it's the flies, it's the everything.
Yeah, I am very much not a fan of of like bugs swarming around me.
Let I get under your
I
skin.
always kind of hated it, but it was
Your
really a
move.
nuisance when I was living in North Dakota apartment with literally like no screen on the windows, and like the bugs just kept flying in like massive amounts. Like, I had to have the windows closed to avoid that, but then when the windows were closed, there was barely any other ventilation, so eventually, like, the air just got, like, stale and, like, muggy, and I couldn't breathe and had to open them again, and it's just such a constant back and forth of, like, constantly adjusting that, constantly adjusting the thermostat. I'm so glad that I'm out of that place.
Mm-hmm. You sound better. Like, and I'm happy.
I sound happier. I mean, I guess my energy level is a bit higher today than it has been for a while.
Those flash mob! Ah!
Did you see that coming?
I don't usually see many of those flash cards, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't remember encountering much of that back in the day either, but then again, like, my whole memory is so hazy that it's like, maybe I did and it just got lost in the shuffle somewhere, but like, I feel like I'm, like,
Yeah.
most of this other stuff is coming back to me, though, like, instants and sorceries and enchantments and stuff.
Yeah. And like now there's so many keywords, like they've got so many different things, it's... From the D&D set, they introduced like delving into the dungeon, which is a mechanic, and like, oh, the Lord of the Rings set introduced tempted by the ring mechanics. You could like build a weird deck with a bunch of different sets and just have all
Don't
these
even get
mechanics
excited.
on your screen. I feel like it'd be super annoying.
Yeah, the thing that I'm curious about, like, is aren't those like the silver border cards or whatever they were called? Are those even like
Oh,
playable on
like the white
here?
bordered.
Yeah, like the unsets and
No, I don't
stuff.
think so. I don't think the white borders are unsets, rather they're just like older cards.
Oh, because I was thinking there was like a very specific like type of
But there are
card
unsets.
that they had
Yeah, it's like,
reserved
oh,
for
Careful.
rip
like,
this
I
card in
can't
half.
afford to take another hit like that.
yeah, basically like
Sorry.
joke cards and other just like ridiculous stuff that would obviously not
Uh,
fly in like the actual game normally. So
they
I thought
basically did just announce that are like that, but like based on Pony.
I kind of would have assumed that a lot of these like crossovers and stuff would be in a similar thing to that.
Yeah, there's a magic unset called Ponies the Galloping, and they're doing a second set with a few different characters.
Block first. Then
Let me
it's
pull
time
up
for
a
some
card
trickery
and
of your own.
read it off. Because it's silly like mechanics. So I can find, I think it was Pinkie Pie. No, was it? Yeah, Applejack. Like the family gathering. At the beginning of your end set, put a toy you own onto the battlefield as a 2/2 creature token with that toy's name, colors, and creature types. If the toy has wings, the token is flying. If the toy has a horn, scry 2. If it has neither, create a food token. as in meant to be like, you know, Pegasus, unicorn, and Earth Pony kind of thing.
Oh my
It's
god.
just take a toy off your shelf and put it in the game.
That really is something. It does sound a lot more fun to play with that kind of crazy stuff, but I also have to wonder, like, how that stuff would even work in Arena. I feel like it probably wouldn't, would it?
It does not.
Pass it
It's
now.
more of like like you said, a joke thing or something you do among like a few friends.
Ooh, very clever.
Very clever. I mean, I just played what the game told me to play.
You literally set me up for this. What are you talking about? I don't deserve your praise.
Honestly reminds me of, like, fucking Pokemon RPGs being like, wow, you know about type matchups. You're such a genius already.
Wow, you knew that water beat out fire? Incredible.
Scarlet and Violet was really, despite the open nature of the game and like how a couple of the stories were like really good, the other story that's also like clearly the one you're supposed to do first and like is like the longest, but it's like it is so bad about this. Like, you start out with a friendly rival who's supposedly so much stronger than you, but like decides to basically like start a new game plus basically and like start over on your level, and then like but then she spends the whole game gushing about how like, oh my god, you're such an awesome genius, and it honestly comes off like she's like simping for the player, like, oh my god, you're so amazing, have my babies.
Like, you'd think after like the 15th Pokemon game, they maybe would like stop holding your hand so much. But evolved it.
The thing that
Like,
gets
they
me
kind of have.
is that like I understand on one hand that like these games still have to be like accessible to like children, and like there's always going to be some kid out there that's like
That's
literally
fair.
literally only touching anything Pokemon related for the first time. So like I understand why they want to have like tutorials in there, but the thing that gets me is that the series has literally always had mechanics to give you optional tutorials, but the games like weirdly don't use them for that. They just like every game you literally go to a trainer school, and yet
Yeah.
most of the time even that is like only the most basic stuff that you're like probably already familiar with, and that's on top of like the forced tutorials that are like super obvious. So it's like, what's the point? Or another thing is like a lot of the games literally have signs scattered around that give you like tips and stuff, like trainer tips signs, and like some of those are occasionally slightly more helpful, but they're still on the same level as like stuff you would hear by talking to random NPCs at best, which is like describing one specific niche mechanic at best and just flavor text at worst. But that's the thing that gets me is like, you've got trainer school, you've got like all these signs everywhere to give tips, you have all of the stuff there already to make an optional yet thorough tutorial for those who do want to seek it out.
Yeah.
But
But
they
no,
just,
let's railroad the whole story and make it like noob friendly until like you literally hit post game.
yeah, like it's like they have all the stuff there, but they don't use it in like an effective way here.
I've got nothing.
I think it was especially
Really.
like Sword
I'm
Shield
at
that
your
pissed me
mercy.
off because I was just like, why am I not doing any of the things? Why do I keep showing up and everything already happened?
Oh
Like,
yeah, Sword and Shield was terrible
oh
about
my god,
that.
you go
Like,
fight the tournament. I'm gonna go fight the big bad. Oh, okay.
like I've heard people defend it as like, oh, they wanted it to be realistic with like the, oh, you're your kid, you just go on your journey, let the adults handle the real hard stuff. But it's like,
Yeah.
then where's the adventure?
Hmm. I want more Arceus.
Another
That was that was adventure.
There was another game I was gonna bring up. What was it? I think. Oh yeah, now I remember. I think I was thinking of. You mentioned like the games being like handholdy till the post game. I think some games were better about that. It's mostly around like 3DS era, like Sun and Moon, that really started that, I think. But the main thing with that is that that's another big issue I have, is like, people say that Pokemon has no depth, but there is like a lot of stuff in there that does like all this different stuff mechanically, and
Hmm.
there is a lot of depth, but like the game doesn't dive into its own mechanics unless you like
Yes.
go out of your way to like post game battle tower or like go online and do competitive. Like just playing through the story, you are not going to encounter like 99% of the game's actual mechanics. And that gives
It doesn't
people.
prepare you more for like those weird kind of encounters, like just in the regular game, because it doesn't challenge you more than like have attacks on them.
Yeah, and
I
that's
feel.
another thing, is that like it doesn't prepare you for that difficulty jump either. Like it's not a smooth transition where it's like the game is slowly trickling in more and more mechanics until you finally are at like really high level stuff. No, it's like the game is like easy for like the whole story, and then you get to the post game and it just like instantly spikes. God, difficulty with Pokemon is such a whole conversation though, because then people take it
Yeah,
too
right.
far, too far in the other direction, where like 90% of ROM
Oh
hacks are
yeah.
just like stupid Kaizo bullshit.
Looks like you've let your
Ultra
guard down.
Nuzlocke, everything you love, you will now hate.
Exactly. Like I'm also so tired of like I'm tired of games being
Now it's
brain
my
dead
turn.
easy, but I'm also tired of people whining
Hurry,
about
make some
stuff not
blockers.
being difficult all the time. I just want like a happy medium where like I have to try, but I don't have to like bash my head against the wall just
Yeah.
hoping that I get lucky.
Or like you can always introduce a little like Metal Gear Solid like chicken hat mechanic, or like the I guess maybe the more appropriate would be like the Mario 3D World, like what is it, golden mushroom thing or something.
Oh yeah, like the helper mode or whatever.
Yeah, little helper mode or something,
See,
like, oh, you're having a hard time here. Do you want the helper mode? Like,
like that's another thing where like they kinda had that with the experience share, but like they couldn't even balance that right. Where like when it's turned off, you get like the level gap increases way too fast, but when you have it on, then it's the same problem in the opposite direction, where now you're like over leveled like
Yeah.
10 levels over everything else. There's like, again, there's no happy medium where it
But
feels like
also,
there should be a natural
like, why would I ever want it off when it's just like, oh wow, this is gonna make my time so much easier. Like, XP
well,
share on is just,
yeah, a
for
lot of,
me.
again, it's one of those like difficulty things where people like
Yeah,
want,
challenge run.
yeah, which like I do think that like having the option is better than forcing it one way or the other.
That's fair.
I think, if anything, that is like one of the few strengths of Pokemon, is that like you do have a lot of freedom with like the difficulty, where like you used to have set mode or switch mode, but then Scarlet Violet took out set mode, even though like online battles are in set mode, but the story is only switch modes. That goes back to feeling like two different games at this point, between like the story and then like the high level stuff. Like, it is just an entirely different experience. But then you've also got the aspect of like the Pokemon you use also like determine the difficulty. Like, you can use like the strongest, best Pokemon, or you can use like the weird, stupid Pokemon that nobody likes because they're weak.
Yeah.
But like, I want to find a way to make them work and like see if there's some kind of like hidden depth to them.
Hmm.
And like, it's sad that like over time they've been like actively taking those options away.
Weird.
I feel like that's like the only that's the like the only thing where like I feel like that's the only
Why won't you
thing
die?
Now you've got her.
where I think I actually am able to find like a good balance of difficulty, is that I have to play on like set mode, and then I like to have like a good variety of different Pokemon that are like, some of these might be decent, but then I also like to have like my weird gimmicky pick.
Yeah.
As for XP share, I really go back and forth because, like, again, it's kind of poorly balanced either way. Like, again, they're really missing out on that, like, happy medium there, where, and part of it is just due to how the experience share works, that, like, it gives all of your Pokemon a portion of the experience, but instead of just splitting it evenly, like, say, if you have a team of 6, each one gets like 1/6, or if you're early on and only have 2, then they each get half. That's how I would do it. I think that would create a much more natural like difficulty curve, where like the more options you have as the game goes on and the fuller your team gets, the lesser like your experience gains in turn. But the way that it actually works in the game is that the Pokemon that does the battling gets the full 100% experience, and all 5 get 50%. So it's actively creating more experience to like actually than like was actually earned. Which, like, no wonder that shit adds up so fast. They're inflating the experience in an RPG. How did they do that? there's just a lot of decisions with Pokemon over the years. Like, I'm not someone who's gonna, like, I don't think that the new games are, like, terrible, unredeemable garbage with, like, nothing good about them. I'm not one of those people, but, like, they got some flaws, and the company doesn't seem interested in addressing them.
Unfortunate. No. I'm never like terribly into Pokemon, so.
Just pretend it's queer coded. It's been so long since I checked chat, I think I forgot what we were talking about with that.
I think that was before this whole discourse too, though.
Yeah. Oh, with Nimona. Yeah, Nimona is, like, absolutely simping no matter what the player does, like, gender-wise. Like, she is down bad no matter what. Oh yeah, and on that note, though, that's another gripe I had with that story, is that it's not just Nimona, but, like, every other character in that story also just feels like they're buttering me up when I haven't done anything yet. Like,
Same with Baldur's Gate.
like, halfway through, like, I think it's by, like, the 4th gym, and, like, Nimona's already introducing me to, like, the Elite Four, and they're, like, simping for me, and it's like, I don't even know you people. We literally just met. Why are you all, like, talking me up so much? I have not earned this.
You should try playing Baldur's Gate 3. Everyone wants to bang. Like, the party members you get are fucking thirsty.
Maybe I will have to. I do really need to branch out more into, like, Western RPGs and stuff. I definitely am far less experienced in that regard.
Baldur's Gate 3 would be one to go for, because it's the game that's pulling people who don't enjoy this kind of game into it, kind of thing.
Found Blaster Combat DJ card. It's beautiful. Ash, you want to look that one up for us? I want to see it.
Oh, Blaster Combat DJ. Oh, they've also got some 40k Noise Marines, I think, in the sets, which are basically these corrupted space marines that, like, have like little vox, like, speakers for mouths and, like, metal, like, heavy metal guitars and shit, and the music that they play makes people go insane.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Like, that's the kind of bonkers shit I'm talking about when I'm being like 40k is fucking stupid. Alright, let me look this up.
Honestly,
Blaster Combat DJ.
I think Pokemon lore has also kind of reached the point of, like, this used to be kind of cool, but now there's just too much going on, and it's just convoluted.
Oh!
And you will serve
It's
me for eternity.
What do you call that? Transformer.
Fight as if your life depended on it.
Here, I'll link it to you in the chat so you can take a look at it.
So it's
like a double-sided thing. He turns into a fucking boombox.
It's like we've got the pantheon of, like, the creator deities of, like, the Pokemon world. Okay, that generation was cool. It fit with the story of that game. And then we got, like, a comparatively small scale story in the next games. Okay, that was fine. And then we got, like, 3,000 years ago, this immortal dude fired a weapon to, like, end a war. Definitely not a metaphor for anything. Like, Japan sure does love making stories about totally not nukes. I wonder why. Anyway, but then in the next game after that, we find out that said weapon firing somehow not only like resulted in like power all over the region that like manifested in these different forms, but it also affected this like other faraway region and somehow like split the timeline, where like now there's a timeline where like he fired the weapon, and then there's a timeline where I guess the war just kept going until everyone died. I don't think they even explain why the weapon wasn't fired in that timeline. Like, it just wasn't. I guess he just gave up, or just wasn't able to do it for some reason. I don't know. And then it keeps getting weirder after that. Because then by, like, Gen 7, we're into, like, full-on multiverse shit now, where there's, like, parallel dimensions with alien Pokemon, which, like, okay, that was pretty cool, I gotta admit. Even if we had to do some gymnastics to get here, the execution on the concept with, like, the Ultra Beasts and stuff, it was really cool to see, like, literally like alien Pokemon from like this other realm. That was just like a cool concept. But then like we get into, honestly, Let's Go is just such a clusterfuck on its own that makes like zero sense even like in its own. But then we get into like Generation 8. Sword and Shield says that like the big darkest day happened with Eternatus, and that was somehow also the same year that, like, the ultimate weapon fired, or maybe didn't, because, like, Mega Evolution isn't a thing anymore, so, like, is it the timeline? Is it the timeline where it fired, where it didn't fire? Is this a third timeline? Who knows anymore? And then, Legends Arceus. I know people love this game,
Away a dragon.
but holy shit, that game just contradicts so much and like raises so many more questions about like more like major timeline shit, and like there's like time travel that's like breaking the space-time continuum, and like how does that fit in to all the other multiverse timeline stuff? No one fucking knows anymore.
Point is Doctor Who. It's timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
Yeah,
it's all part of the same timeline, yet not, yet canon, yet not, yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, I still need to watch Doctor Who, but that's exactly the kind of shit it is. They're just like
Not worth it.
they're just making up shit as they go along at this point, and then like the fans are having to like scramble after the fact, like, how on earth does this fit in? It doesn't make sense.
So now, is it actually getting you to play a proper game now?
I think this is like the last part of the tutorial.
I think yes. You defeat Nico Bolas and win your freedom or something.
Yes, the big Durg.
Everything that exists or perishes at my whim.
Yeah, you end for Fox, with series that go on for a while tend to go down that path often. It's like, you end up
Yeah.
contradicting yourself eventually because you have different writers and like different styles or different ideas.
Yeah, that is absolutely just like a general symptom of like this has been going on a long time, and there's been like so many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak.
Yeah. The recipes no longer contain the same ingredients that we started with. It produces the same dish somehow, but I don't know.
That's a really good way to look at it, honestly, is like it's clearly still the same, but it also feels so different at the same time. Won't this destroy it, though? Can't I use any of these? No, I don't have enough mana for
Yeah, don't
these
have
two
mana
yet.
for it. So don't attack. What do you have? It's a 2/2 versus a 3/2. What does that 2/2 do if you hover over it, his card? Because sometimes you can glean whether they'll want to sacrifice it or not, depending on the effects it has. Yeah, I mean, he might just throw that 2/2 away to kill your 3/2. That's very fair. It might be better not to attack
I will let
and just hang on to it as like a defender for now.
Yeah, I really want to try using, like, tactical advantage to, like, enchant something, and then...
Yeah. Is tactical advantage an instant or is it an enchantment aura thing?
Wait, I think it said it's an instant, actually. I might have misread. Hold on.
It doesn't look like you can play it, so maybe
It's an
not.
instant, apparently.
What does it do? Target blocking or blocked creature you control gets +2/+2. That'd actually be, yeah, that would basically make it so you can block that 3/2,
But
use that
now,
card, and it would kill it, but not you.
now there's also a 4/4, though. I think I need to just take the
Yeah,
hit
you
again.
could block it. So you could block the 4/4 and use that tactical advantage to kill both it and yours.
Oh, yeah, I could. Good point.
It's kind of up to you.
Oh,
Yeah, it'd probably be more
flying.
beneficial to kill off the 4/4.
It has flying.
Oh, you
so
can't
I
block it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to just take the hit again.
Possibly. Yeah, either take the hit or block the other one and use tactical advantage. Up to you.
So
I think
now
either one of those is a
now
good choice.
I got another plains now. That's just what I needed to start. I had to eat it that last turn, but now I've got a plains again. I can finally start playing other stuff here. And I can start, like, turning things around a bit.
You gain 4 life when it enters. That's nice. And it has currently attacked with everything, so you're free to attack with that, since you might not block with it next turn anyways.
Indeed.
And tactical advantage at this point would be better. I mean, no, if it was a flyer, it would be better.
Whoa!
I think if he keeps attacking each turn, you should be able to oof.
Yeah, I think I just missed something big. Like, he destroyed everything. Except the land.
You should be alright. You still have 3 turns. Maybe technically 4. What does that guy do? That you just put down the 1/4?
My triumph is
So whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, you gain a life and draw a card. That's pretty alright. I imagine that's a power with a creature with power 2 or less. The power would be the attack stat, so the first of the 2/2 thing. Gain a life, draw a card. Draw a card, always good. You can do it again if you want.
Yeah.
Just keep bringing in
Just
more
might be able
dudes.
to pull this off.
Destroy target tapped creature. How do you like getting
Oh,
your shit
there you go.
instantly destroyed?
Soon there will be nothing left of you either.
Huh, Nico Bolas, you big stupid lizard. Gonna start like trash talking
Oh,
to
which
the
one is this?
NPC.
Concord of the Kami. Aw. I love the Kamigawas. They're nice.
Hey!
All
Yeah, they're
succumb
pretty.
to
I
your
love
wrath.
art. Fucking Magic. Some of them are just so nice.
Hold back.
There's one like
so you
super
can
cute
prepare for his
version of
attack.
Greasefang that I own.
If I don't attack,
aw.
will it block automatically, and then can I play these? Target blocking or blocked creature you control gets +2/+2. Cast the spell only if a creature is attacking you. Create 3/1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. It seems like I can't play either of them right now, though.
Oh. You need to block that 6/6. Oh wait, why does it say pass? Oh, because you have another card you can play potentially.
What?
What does that do? Create 3. Oh, that's good. With flying, that means you can use a single one of those to block all 4 of that damage. Like the flyer's damage anyways. Then you can use that other 1/1 to block 6 damage. And you keep your 1/4 and a 1/1 for next turn. Because you don't want that one to die. It gets you life and draws you cards, right?
Yeah, this one I should probably try to keep alive.
Yeah. And if you use another spirit to block the 6/6.
Wait, yeah, I can use this also.
It would not kill it. No, cancel.
I have 2 of them.
It's no good.
Oh wait, I can't use more than one. I thought I
yeah,
could
because
use
you don't have the
2
mana
of them.
for it.
Yeah. Well, at least it
Yeah,
like
I would have also
reduced
blocked the
damage
6/6
to
with
me.
one of your. Yeah, it would have been good to block the 6/6 too. With one of those 1/1 spirit things or whatever. And another card, another life. Oh, is that a fancy angel? 4/4 flying vigilance. Vigilance is nice. It can attack. It does not tap, so it stays useful as a blocker for your turn after attacking.
My power is beyond that of a god.
And you have 1 mana left over again, so enough for 1 tactical advantage.
Hold on, what?
And
What am I blocking with
I would-
what here? Should I be using the flying to just like attack him directly?
I'd probably attack with 2 of them, but I would leave one of those like flyers open to block that 4/4 next turn, at least. No, because you have the angel to block it, and tactical advantage to kill it with. I don't know. Up to you. You're probably. I'd probably save one of those to block the 6/6 though, anyways. But you can probably attack with everything if you want.
Okay, because, like, if I understand correctly, the health, once it goes through the health of the card, the remaining amount of damage goes through to me, right?
It does not, unless the card has trample. So if you
Oh,
block like
okay.
you can block like a 900 with a 1/1, won't do a lick of damage to you
Oh,
unless it has trample.
that's kind of funny, actually. Can just throw out, like, a ton of 1/1s and just block
Yeah.
everything. I'm surprised that he didn't destroy the angel.
I think it had to be like a certain. There might have been a condition that meant it couldn't.
I may have to sacrifice the kitty.
No, block the 4/4 with your angel and use tactical advantage. Because it's flying, right?
Yeah.
You can't block it with the cat anyways.
True.
But then the angel won't die, and you'll have killed it.
It still won't let me use tactical advantage.
You need to confirm your blockers, I think, first.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that weird stipulation of like blocked or blocking creatures, like.
Admit defeat.
It's getting somewhere. There's that fucking scary ass 5/3 though. Oh, it's an enchantment. +3/+3 and has flying. I wonder if you just want to like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking nuke him this turn, honestly.
Got 2 flyers, that's 4, 8. One of them has vigilance. Maybe only attack with the one that has vigilance this turn. So you keep them all open for blocks next turn. Because he's able to kill you otherwise.
I need to get his
Yeah,
health
don't attack
down,
with anything.
though.
Yeah, you can. You can attack with the angel. You cannot block it, and it won't tap.
The cat
If
is
that makes
also
sense.
flying, though. So we can't
But you
block
want
that
to
either.
keep it as a blocker for next turn. Perhaps. That's the kind of... Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I'm just going all in. Like, this should get him down to, like, 4 health, which should be pretty easy to pick off from there.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a non-zero chance.
Turn...
There's also a non-zero chance that he'll just destroy one of these next turn, because he loves doing that.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, if you go all in this turn, you will probably lose next turn, I think. Maybe. Or another, I don't know.
I feel like I'm playing way too defensive against a guy who can literally just insta-kill my creatures anyway. I feel like I should be a bit more aggressive and straightforward and, like, take the initiative.
Yeah, but doing 1 damage won't do anything. Doing 4 is better. Always attack with a creature that has vigilance. If it cannot be blocked, it's free. Use your angel to attack. That 4/4 angel, use it to attack. Because you get to keep it as a defense next turn.
The question is the cat, though. If I only attack with angel, then he'll have 8 health next turn. Whereas if I use both now, then he'll be down to 4, which will be, like, way closer to actually winning.
But he'll be down to 8 health, which means next turn you've got 2 4/4s that can finish the job. flyers that he can't block.
Unless he instantly destroys one of them again.
He
Then
doesn't have any
what?
cards in his hand.
I
It's
see.
kind of a, I
I
don't know.
see
I'm just
two
I'm
of
just sending
them.
out like
Unless
thought,
I'm
I guess.
misreading. Is that not the hand, or is that like down?
Oh, never mind. I didn't see that. Yeah, he does have 2 cards. My bad. I'm a dumb.
You're fine.
Don't just do one attacker. Attack with that angel for sure. It's free damage. Don't forget about it.
Wait, I misclicked. Fuck, I got the red and the blue mixed up again. Oh my fucking god, I really spent that whole time debating about, like, what's the best option tactically, and then I'm apparently suddenly
You literally did the worst
colorblind.
option.
Like, I
I was
literally
trying to
got
like
the
lead you on though, to
colors.
be fair, but
I literally got the colors backwards. Like,
yeah, I don't think there's any way out of that one.
like why is red the selection color when blue is like the cancel color? I feel like isn't it usually the opposite? This is like tripping me up so much. Like, isn't red usually like the color that's like go back, cancel, and then blue is like yes,
Red
you
is
are
like, I'm
selecting
attacking,
this.
grr. Blue, like, passively not doing anything, I guess, if you look at it that way.
I guess.
But everyone's different, and I can kind of see that way.
God, that was. I can't believe we
So
spent that whole time deliberating about, like, should I block with the angel alone or the angel and the cat? And then I somehow managed to do neither by literally getting the fucking color confused of all things. That is
trying to think
such
of a way out.
That is such a, like, genius idiot moment.
If you block that 5/3, maybe, or at this point, block the 6/6 with your cat and use the tactical advantage. Right? I think that's the best thing you can do now, because it won't kill it, but it will kill the other thing. So you'll get to keep it for next turn to attack with. That might be a way out of this.
This is it.
You still have 2 HP. Yeah, this is good. Oh, when Spirit... You gain more life? That's even better. If it wants to fucking play. And I would probably just attack with the cat and the angel. Just leave that 1/1 as a dinky little blocker you can throw out for cheap.
It also has flying, though, so we can't block it. Hold on, what's the math here? 8, 11... Okay, hold on. So this would do...
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would do 9 damage, bringing him down to 2 HP. But
So keep in mind,
I am at 6, and if he does anything to buff the 5/3, that could be a problem, right?
that's exactly why you want to leave that 1/1 not attacking, because you, no matter how much you buff that thing up, you can block it and it will do no damage to you. It'll kill off your Wraith, but who cares? Because you kill him the next turn with your flyers. Does that make sense? Am I just like speaking a bit too?
I think it makes sense, yeah. I'm gonna block the 5/3 with the 1/1.
Yeah, and for the most part, you can just let the other one through if you really want. But oh no, it only does 1 damage. Block it with something that can anything really.
Yeah.
Either your angel or the spirit guardians, they won't die. They'll just cancel each other out essentially, and you won't take any damage. Because it only does 1 damage and it can't possibly kill any of your cards. Unless he does some stupid buff shit, but I mean, the chances of that happening at this point, you've already won. You've won.
I'm gonna tap all of them now, just to add
Oh
the
yeah.
insult to injury.
All attack! Get him!
I'm
Send in Mr. Whiskers Commando Cat.
Exactly. Send in the the artillery strike with the commando cat. I'm amazed that like we managed to turn that around after I fucking
Yeah,
after
I
I
was
got the
honestly,
fucking color confused.
I was not entirely sure we were gonna get out of that one. And I apologize for basically just telling you what to do at the end there specifically, but I was trying to find an out for you.
You're fine.
I've done a fair bit of like little just like theory crafting and playing. I really enjoy this game. I maybe get a little overly like autistically zealous about like
That's perfect,
optimal plays and shit. But
perfectly understandable. When people actually recognize rats are cute as fuck, true.
oh, here I'll send it to your Discord too if you want to check it out later. A little grease fang will keep a boss. Oh, I'll have to friend you.
On the game?
Yeah.
Oh, alright, I guess I'm not...
I'm
I'm
unsure how.
I'm still not used to how it's like playing games with people actually.
Right.
It's
Oh, yeah.
gonna
I
take some
think,
time to get used to.
I think there's like a profile button on the top bar after you clean off the rest of the kind of tutorial stuff. Oh, yeah, it's not quite there yet. Goodness. Is it?
This
Oh, yeah.
is where you
Yeah,
can
there it
find your
is.
current rank in Spark rank.
And if
As
I
you
type
play,
that
you'll level up
in...
through the 4 tiers. I wonder what happens when you complete tier 1.
Oh, I'll go back to your profile a quick sec. I just need the numbers.
Oh.
No worries. 905. Alright, perfect. Should have an invite soon. I believe the mail with attachments in there as well. In your mail will have like boosters and things like that.
Oh, it will? Good
Yeah,
to
I'm pretty
know.
sure. They tend to be pretty okay with giving stuff out.
Oh, nice. Do you still have the thing that you were gonna send for boosters as well?
Oh yeah, those are like they're basically just like public domain codes that they give out sometimes when sets come out. Let me go get that list. Magic Arena codes. some of them might not work anymore because they're just like there's such old codes, but most of the newer ones should. I can just like copy and paste the codes for you, make it a bit easier. Apparently you can just go to the store and type in threads and it'll give you 1,000 experience. Like,
Wait, really? That's kind of funny.
here we go. I think I found some. Play Theros, play Ikoria Theros. Because there should be Brothers War in there too. So there's some. Trying to find a better code bank. 2023. No. Yeah, there's like Play Bro, Play DMU Alchemy, Play DMUA, Play DMU. It's all these like, yeah. I think that site I first sent you is kind of garbo. Take that one instead. TCG Player Infinite. It's a bit better organized.
Welcome to my humble home.
This
Here's
isn't
just
right.
a few of the many resources out there. It's jam-packed with expert information.
Did you
and
send
strategy.
the request?
And you can always replay the
I
tutorial.
did? LILYLOPEARS and number 90522, right?
That sounds correct. Yeah. Did you like capitalize it?
Does it show a thing in the bottom left? Where that little person silhouette thing is? Curious if I could just try to direct challenge you. If that works. Oh, pardon me. That actually send you a challenge.
Oh yeah, that rat is adorable. I love that.
Right? I built a whole commander deck around it, and it's just a ton of vehicles. It's so good. It just ended up like putting a lot of things in the graveyard, which is great because she just brings back a vehicle at the start of combat that I can just use.
Nice.
I've got some pretty stupid vehicles in there too. Because it doesn't matter. Oh, did it cost 10 mana? It doesn't matter because it came back from my graveyard for free this turn. Like,
Nice. The Night of the Sweets Revenge. Enters the battlefield, create a food token. Creatures you control get XX till end of turn, where X is the number of foods you control. Sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. Spell Stutter. I like that it also comes with the token. That's another thing that we gotta talk about with like the difference between like this and Pokemon is like in Pokemon, you will get like incomplete evolution lines or like only parts of like things that a card
Mm,
needs to work because of how randomized it is. Also, yeah, this is just
yeah, like
like
oh, it's great that you have like Ivysaur, but you need Bulbasaur to bring it out. Like
exactly.
there's essentially none of that here. Every card is its own self-contained thing, and it can transform. Some of them have like a backside face that you flip and transform, like the
Oh
Transformers
yeah,
cards
I
do.
remember those.
Yeah, some of them even have like two, like they're kind of horizontal. Uh, yeah, instead, and they have like two mini cards on the same face, and you can choose to play either or. There's like some different variations on a lot of those.
I know
Like that one I think on the
Pokemon
bottom middle,
had
that blue
something
one.
similar to that as well, where it's like a double like a horizontally like double-sided card, and like which way it's facing like determines what the effect is. There
Mm.
was a few of those at one point, but they kind of stopped doing it after a while, I think. Also, yeah, I'm also taking note of like everything here feels like it would be potentially useful somewhere.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're building. And
But
sometimes
like,
there'll also be like some older cards that may be more efficient or less efficient at doing what newer cards do, like kind of stuff.
well, yeah, I figured that much. And another thing is that, but it's like, remember in Pokemon where like we went through like 50 booster packs and
Oh my god, right?
got
And I
like
feel like I couldn't do anything with it.
we got like a maximum of like 5 cards like countable on a hand that were like actually useful at
Useful.
all.
Yeah.
And it's weird that it's saying something because like Magic I would think would have more of an excuse to just like fill booster packs with like 1/1 commons or something, because like at least they're still useful for blocking. But they don't even
Yeah.
do that. They like actually go above and beyond, and you're actually
Um,
getting like a lot of good stuff here.
so some of the best cards I find for Magic are your like, well, the best value rather are like the 1/1s for 1 mana that have an effect or something.
I will keep that in mind, and it will probably be forgotten because my deck will inevitably be about buffing my commander to just be as like overwhelming as possible with all like the green stuff. Or I guess not commander necessarily, just like buffing creatures too, in like the normal mode on here.
There is a semi-commander mode on here called Brawl, I think. It's alright.
Whenever Enchanted Forest is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of the chosen color. Oh, that would actually be really good for the green, black, and white idea, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it'll depend on what I like. I'd say yeah, keep cards in mind, and then you can kind of like filter that idea down if ever you kind of think that the effects and things start to feel too not specialized enough or whatever.
Yeah, that's another thing I really struggled with in Pokemon, is trying to find the balance of like I gotta have like a consistent theme with the deck, but I also can't have it be so hyper specialized that it like can't actually do anything half the time.
Yeah.
And like on the other hand, I can't have it be full of like I can't just have it be like half full of control cards that like are only useful in like specific circumstances half the time either. There's like a balance there for sure. It's kind of hard to find. I guess there probably are like dedicated control kind of decks now that I think of it. I'm sure something like
Yeah,
that exists out there in Pokemon. I know there is definitely a lot of like milling kind of cards that they
I've
make.
I have played against some control decks and they feel awful in Pokemon to play against. It's just like, oh, let me just switch your Pokemon around here. Oh yeah, that thing's dead now, and I'll take this prize
Oh,
card, and I'll do that, and I'll
you
like,
you got bosses ordered, didn't you? Yeah, that card is
oh, either like,
everywhere.
yeah, not even just Boss's Order. I think it was like something else, like some other cards, like some other Pokemon's effects, or I forget exactly what kind of deck it was.
I know there's also escape rope, which like switches both yours and the opponent's, which can also be like
Yeah,
a really big turnaround in like the right conditions, where like maybe like their Pokemon has taken damage, so then they also need to like switch that out and switch in something fresh, and then they can
yeah.
like do that at the same time as like switching yours out to something weaker. Like escape rope as well was one that I saw like used a lot for that effect. But yeah, Pokemon
Yeah.
does have a lot of stuff like that, or there's stuff that's like shuffle both yours and your opponent's deck, or like not deck,
Oh yeah, the hands.
shuffle the hand
Oh,
back
I
into the
hate
deck.
that.
Like
You have the
Judge,
perfect hand and you're all
Iono.
set up. Like, oh yeah, yeah. A few of those times I got real salty because of that.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff that I wound up throwing into like the Exeggutor deck to ensure that it like keeps like that, to ensure that I have control over like the pacing, so to speak, and can get it like set up more efficiently. Is like I got like the Ionos that are like shuffle and like put on the bottom of the deck or whatever. Then I got like stuff to like discard energy from them, because that's a thing that's like really important in like the current game. I think is like being able to like get as much energy going around as possible. There's like a ton of cards that do that sort of thing. So cards that are able to like deny that and be like, actually no, that energy is actually going like into your discard pile or like back on top of your deck for the next turn. Stuff like that can also be like really good at like fucking with people and like what their plan was. Like meanwhile then like my own Pokemon is getting like set up with for those turns as it like stalls, not really stalls, but like delays them a few turns.
Yeah.
So then like by the time my Pokemon is all set up, they are like still starting from like a significantly less equipped point than they want to on the flip side. Oh, do I have to tap the last one here? God, yeah, I got a lot of booster packs from clicking on, like, the announcements and stuff.
Yeah. That's nice. It'll give you a nice little like base collection and potentially a good few little wild cards too from that.
When this aura is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Can a token be a commander?
Token cannot be a commander. A
Oh.
legendary creature only can be a commander.
Oh, okay, good to know. If you
There's some really
do...
cool like Stranger Things cards too, I think, that had like, oh, you can they have partner, you can have 2 commanders, like.
Can't be blocked with creatures power 2 or less this turn. Interesting. The duality of man. Voracious vermin versus cute little rats.
Whee! I love the rats.
There are 2 rats inside of you.
What are they doing there? Get them out of
They
there.
want out.
They want out. They'll stop at nothing. I can already feel them gnawing their way. The hell were you doing swallowing these 2 live rats anyways?
It was a magic act gone wrong. It turns out I wasn't actually supposed to swallow them. Token enchantment. Huh, interesting. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell with value 3 or less this turn. Hold on, that only requires 1 blue. I wonder if I could squeeze that in to the deck we were thinking of, and then just use some kind of card that's like, use any color of mana to fulfill that. So that seems like it could add up really quickly. Creating tokens that enchant stuff. Wait, no, actually I misread that. I thought that was +1/+1, but that's base power. That could be... Actually, that could be used on the opponent, though, couldn't it?
Let's see.
Because it just says
Yes.
attached up to
Yes, it
one
can.
one target creature. It doesn't say that you
Doesn't say
control
one of
or
yours.
anything.
Yeah. I think it is more meant to be put onto something else. You're right.
Okay, this one is actually like ++. That might be something worth keeping in mind. Also, God, my nose is like...
Is it itchy or...
No, it's like still like stuffed up from like
Wow.
I got sick like probably almost a month ago at this point, but also like I always just had terrible sinuses because of like the weather and the poor ventilation and everything in like back in North Dakota. So there was always the question of like I am just like constantly either plugged up or draining with like no in between, and I'm really hoping that like eventually I will like clear up for good now that I'm out of there.
Yeah. Move closer to a sea border or something.
I mean, the I think is it Lake Michigan. One of the lakes is like just a couple hours north from here, so break the spell pretty hard. Oh, rat, rat, rat. I want to pet rats again. They're
Rat,
so
rat.
good. I love them. So true. Rat, rat,
Yeah, I've
rat,
never
rat,
had any,
rat.
but I've heard lovely things about rat, like from rat owners.
One thing I'm thinking of, again with the Pokemon comparisons here, is there any cards of a certain color that don't actually cost that color of mana to cast? Because I know in Pokemon, there are definitely a fair amount of cards that are like, the card itself is one type, but actually, but then the energy is like, the energy it uses is like free or colorless or some other type. So then like you can add
Yeah.
in more variety without having to like add in more energy, and I'm wondering, would a similar thing exist here? I feel like there might not be much point.
Like to
'Cause
add more
like,
mana in a turn?
no, I mean the opposite, to like to not need as much mana and to like throw in like a wider variety of like colors without actually needing a wider variety of mana. But now I'm thinking that like that's probably like a
Hmm.
really situational thing, cuz like
So
I
there
don't
are,
think magic cards don't have like like elemental weakness or resistance, right? Like
exactly.
that's a thing you have to worry about in Pokemon. So that's like one reason that like
I mean,
mixing it
there
up
are
a bit,
counters.
that like mixing it up a bit is like really encouraged in Pokemon as a result. I know I said
Um,
that most people still run like one or two type decks anyway, because that still is usually like more consistent, and like the stuff that's like weirder is usually like the minority of the deck if it's in there. Like you got like your colorless or like your dragon types, which usually use like other existing energy types because there is no like dragon energy
yeah,
or
in Magic, I would say it's common to have 2, 3 types of mana. You can even do all 5, because there are some cards that like you can, it's like tap for any color or tap for one of these 3 colors and things like that. So one card can cover 3 of your mana, like not 3 of your mana
see
at
again,
once, but at least 3 colors.
that's the opposite of what I'm asking though. What I'm asking is not the mana, but like a card that is a specific color, not mana, but like a creature or an instant or an enchantment or something like that, where even though it's one color, the mana cost is not does not have that color in it. Like, for example, let's say, I don't know, Sweet
Um,
Tooth Witch here. Imagine if she still was a black card in every way that mattered, but instead she cost only the 2 of any, or like
yeah,
a 2 and
that
a
usually
green or
doesn't,
something.
because then they would just be a colorless card at that point. the mana that is on the card that it takes at least one of is usually like presents its type. I think there are some cards that are exceptions where it's like it's all colorless, but it could be like, oh, for purposes like treat this creature as black or something. There might
Interesting.
be some stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, like they'll have colors, or they'll be what's called colorless, which is something that'll come in when you're building commander decks. You can only put cards that have the mana types of your commander in a deck, unless they're colorless,
Yeah, that's exactly what I
because
was
they just
talking
fit
about.
everywhere.
That's what I was saying with Pokemon before, is that Pokemon also has, like, literally called colorless, where they can take,
Like
like,
normal.
any type of energy, and yeah, it's basically like the normal type in the TCG.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you'll need 2 fire, and then like
I hate
star
that
star
my
kind of thing.
I hate that my nose and throat are like this, because it makes it harder to actually talk, and that gets frustrating.
Yeah. You've been reminded to take your estrogen and multivitamin.
I think I already did that today. Pretty sure
Good.
that was like a couple hours ago, so it's too soon again for that. Thanks for the reminder though. Lake Erie, that might have been what it was. Thanks for the reminder though. I should probably have a backup plan in case I actually do manage to like remember that ahead of time, so that it's not just like a wasted redeem. What should I do in that case?
I mean, it's 5 points. Kind of up to you.
Should I just like refund it though? Cause like I still, even if it's only like 10 points, I still don't want to want people to waste it, you know. All right, Fox is on it. Yeah, like, I appreciate the reminder. Like, most days, I probably would actually need the reminder. So it's ironic that, like, the day people find the new redeem is the one day that I actually remember on my own.
It's weird that you didn't get my friend request yet.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some sort of setting.
Like, does it not show anything when you click on the bottom left silhouette friends thing, or?
Oh, there it is. I thought there would. Why did that not work earlier? So
I don't know.
I swear I clicked on it earlier. Who knows?
It's all good. You're busy opening packs anyways.
Also, I
I
got
was just hoping it would actually catch. Oh yeah, wild cards. There you go.
yeah, so I can just redeem that for like any rare then, right?
Yeah.
That is definitely good to know.
The rares are like the second tier, I believe. It goes common, uncommon, rare, mythic rare.
And I'm still not sure with like, are these Lord of the Rings cards like, so these are like actually
Yeah,
like
Protector of
usable,
Gondor.
right?
They're currently in the rotation of like standard, as it were, I believe. Yes.
That's interesting to me that they would like actually like incorporate that properly and not make them like another side thing. I really thought the crossover ones.
Oh, they're really neat the way they flavor them. Like they really try to bring out the characters in like rule form. I
You,
really like that.
you also said that like the My Little Pony one though was like some really funny joke card stuff. So maybe it like
Yeah.
maybe it depends on like the source material. If it's already like medieval fantasy kind of stuff, then it kind of fits in. But like
Yeah.
cartoon pony is and like their magical bullshit is kind of a
Yeah.
different story.
Or like when they brought in Warhammer 40K is the same. Like that fits kind of with magic, right? Like it's not
Yeah,
something you would make a goofy goober set out of.
like it does kind of fit into like the medieval fantasy kind of thing, I guess.
Well, it's not all medieval here, right? Like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty was like futuristic, cyberpunk feudal Japan in a
Okay,
weird way.
yeah,
Like,
that's true. It is more of a mix, I suppose.
yeah, there's a lot of like realms and multiverses and like blah 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 and planes, etc., etc. Which is why there's characters called planeswalkers. They literally
Oh
cross
God, I
planes.
remember them.
Yeah, I think a player is a player. What is a player like referred to
I
as?
think a player is technically a planeswalker, but I don't remember if that actually matters most of the time. I think that was just like a lore thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it might. Like, oh, it's these planeswalkers that are like summoning creatures and blah 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 and fighting like battles or something, I feel.
So many things that I haven't had to think
Yeah.
about.
A standard game of Magic involves two or more players who are engaged in a battle acting as powerful wizards known as planeswalkers.
So many things that I haven't had to think about in so long coming back to me.
Coming
Also,
back to
my
haunt you.
nose is plugging up so bad that like I can't breathe sometimes. Oh God, that felt like pressure like came out of my head there.
Yeah.
There's definitely
It feels like it
something
got
going
worse over like
on.
it feels like it got worse over the like last 20 minutes or something. Is that you seemed pretty spry earlier,
Yeah, it's
and
something
now
that seems to be happening like as the stream goes on. I don't know what like
no.
triggers it. I think maybe it is just like pressure and shit trying to like find its way out. I hope.
Yeah.
It's like I can definitely feel like when I force it out, it does make like I literally hear like hissing noise and like feel like the air rushing out. Like I'm literally doing like cartoon like audible snort out the nose.
Yeah, maybe after you're done opening some packs, you want to play a game or two, or maybe just call it, or...
I think playing around with you would be a good way to wrap it up. Yeah, once I've gone through like all the packs, of course.
Yeah, maybe I'll just bring one of like the starter decks or something just to start, so it's like, you know, fair. Because I
Oh,
have
now
really mean decks.
this
And
sounds
even
like a
the rat
fun
deck I put
one.
together quickly is kind of a jerk. Oh, sorry.
Sacrifice it for X mana and then add X mana in any combination of colors and draw a card when it goes into the graveyard.
That's another one of those, like, could be helpful in a multicolor deck kind of card.
Yeah.
I think I have one multicolor deck, and it's a Kamigawa based one. It has all 5 like colored dragons essentially,
Is this
and all
literally
5
just
shrines.
Is this literally
What is
just
that?
like is this literally just like a screenshot from one of the movies?
No, this is all art that was actually done for the set. Yeah, it's all it's usually they do art
It's
usually.
so realistic looking, though.
Yeah, some of the artists are pretty decent.
The ring!
Yeah, any card that has like the ring tempts you on it will bring you through that kind of first step, second step, third step, fourth step every time the ring tempts you. Like quote.
My precious.
I think the first time you choose like a ring bearer and they gain like some protections or something, I think. Yeah, it can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, which technically means like if you had a 1/1, it can't be blocked by a thing that could have two power on it or whatever. That's weird. But yeah, going into your deck for a legendary creature card is pretty useful. Twice. That's
Also,
nice. The way these saga cards work is the 1, 2, 3 is like on your first turn, second turn, third turn.
oh,
Sorry,
that makes
also.
sense. Also, creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Plus,
Uh-huh.
whenever
Double
it
strike is nice.
and whenever it's blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices itself. It also draws a card every time the ring bearer attacks, and whenever it deals combat damage, it does 3 more life to each opponent. That is really strong. That really is like
Yeah.
a tempting card.
Yeah, the ring thing is like an overarching theme through a lot of the cards. They'll have a thing that says the ring tempts you. So you can also build that through like other cards as well.
That is good to know. I'm definitely definitely keeping an eye on some of these. Also, wild cards for common and uncommon. Interesting. Deals X damage to target creature, where
Yeah.
X is the number of instant and sorcery cards.
And it does essentially trample damage as well, because the extra
Yeah.
damage gets turned onto its controller. That's pretty neat.
Plus, this is a sorcery itself, so it would like stack as more of them get used, right? Because then there would be
Yeah, it
more
would
of
not
them in
count
the
itself.
graveyard.
Yeah, it would not count itself when you use it because it is not in the graveyard at the point it is being
It
used, but
would
any
it
other
would
card
count
in there.
it would count copies of itself though, right? Like if you have more than
Yeah,
one.
yeah. If you have like, you can have up
If
to
you have
four in your
if
deck.
like
So
yeah,
if
like if you have
yeah,
like all four and you get like each time you use one, the next one is going to get stronger then, right?
yeah,
Too bad it's red and blue, and I feel like that's pushing the color theme a bit too much.
yeah.
And without it, it's definitely going to be like mostly like green, black, and white, and I feel like if we're gonna push it that hard, then it would just have to be like a full 5 color deck at that point, and I don't think I want to do that.
That's typically something you'll need a lot more cards for too, like a multicolored deck. A lot more like specialty.
Oh, another ring tempts me. But the base card is +1/+1 on each creature you control. They gain vigilance, and the ring tempts you. So, like, okay, so, like, if multiple cards activate the ring tempts me, then that moves through, like, each stage on the card, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you happen to go like if you happen to have 4 cards at one turn that do the ring tempts you, then yeah, you could just get right through it.
Good to know. Definitely keeping an eye on that one, too, then. So, +1/+2 and has reach. Equip 2 mana as well. It's also got flash, so it can be cast anytime like an instant. I might keep an eye on that one, but I'm not sure if that's like worth the slot for like a single +1/+2. I feel like that's a bit on the weak side if I am going for like crazy buff deck.
Yeah, perhaps. Eagle.
Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped under your control and the rest into their
Oh,
graveyard.
that's nice.
And he is a legendary creature. So he is eligible for commander duty then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could build a whole fucking ring tempts you like commander deck out of Spiegel if you wanted to.
Basically what
That sounds kind of fun.
what I'm probably gonna end up doing at this point. He is also black and green, so that does also fit. I definitely think we have something coming together here. Like, we got a good 4 or 5 cards that I'm keeping an eye on, and then that all sort of fit, and then got like wild cards for the rest, I guess. And
Yeah,
then
and
from
still like tons of packs to get through.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot here to work with.
Very unlike Pokemon, eh?
Yeah, like it is night and day, honestly. If one or more creatures died this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many +1/+1 counters among creatures you control. Yeah, we're adding that one too, and that's black and white, so that also
Yeah,
fits. We're definitely adding
If you
that one too.
if you had like a heavy token / sacrifice deck, you could basically like kill off a bunch of your things in one turn and then just use that. Or if someone nukes the field, I don't know.
That too probably is more so what I'm expecting. I'm thinking of it more as like insurance policy. That like if my creatures happen to die, which like one probably will eventually. So actually, it doesn't even have to be mine that died, right? Like it just says one or more creatures died this turn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even need to be yours.
So that is definitely good.
It could just be like after heavy combat one turn, you just pop that enchantment off after,
Yup.
like.
Also goes well with Vanquish the Weak here. Just instantly destroy target creature. Unless that doesn't count as death for some reason, but I feel like it probably
does.
would.
Yeah, it does.
Like it's hard to argue that
Because you destroy it, it dies.
oh you're just obliterated. Yeah, you're dead. Oh, here's one of the flip side ones.
Oh, yeah.
Death Touch. That also seems like an interesting fit with this.
Yeah. Death Touch is if it deals combat damage to any creature, that creature dies.
Yeah, we got
Doesn't
some.
matter how much HP they have.
Also, Death Rattle Oni costs 2 less to cast for each creature that died this turn, and when it enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures that were dealt damage this turn. That also plays really well with that. A big old dino.
Yeah, sure.
Sadly, I'm not sure if anything here is particularly useful for the deck we're looking at, right? Like, destroy target artifact.
Not.
Destroy target artifact or enchantment. That doesn't activate anything that's like when creatures die, because that's not creatures, that's artifact or enchantment. That's different.
Yeah.
Exiling the graveyard won't really do anything for us either. For life,
That
I guess,
depends.
is nice, but that's probably still something that like other cards can do just fine.
Exiling a graveyard could come in handy if, like, the opponent has a graveyard deck, so to speak. Where, like, they want to put things in their graveyard because it's easier for them to take it out of their graveyard than it is to get out of their deck, kind of thing.
Yeah, Pokemon also has a lot of that, where there's a lot of cards that are like draw from your like draw or like search your discard pile instead of your deck. So then there's
Yeah.
obviously like entire decks that are built around like discarding the stuff you need so that you can then draw it or like search it from there.
And, like, this game has something similar to the Lost Zone called Exile, but, like...
Yeah, the Lost Zone, that also was something I was thinking of.
Unless I'm mistaken, just to be safe, I'll say 99% of the time you cannot get shit out of Exile. I'm pretty sure it's 100% of the time, unless it's like exile this card and you can play it later specifically kind of stuff. But like Exiled is like you can't get shit from there anymore. It's gone.
I think Lost Zone started out the same way, where it was like the no, this is deader than dead pile. But then
Yeah.
over time, they kind of started doing stuff that's like search into the Lost Zone or whatever, and kind of ruined that aspect.
Yeah. I think now that I think about it, I think Magic also has a thing where it's like remove a card from the game kind of thing, to like deader than dead.
Oh yeah, I think that was one of like the unset like joke cards, wasn't it? That was like take the card from the removed from play zone and put it into the freaking
Yeah.
removed from play forever zone.
The remove from play forever zone. You can never play this card ever again.
I dread that Pokemon will eventually end up like unironically doing a similar thing with like the resurgence of like the Lost Zone as a mechanic combined with like the sort of undoing of like how lost it really is, and then combined with like the general power creep. They're absolutely gonna at some at some point they're absolutely gonna add some shit that's like this is even more lost than the Lost Zone was, and like this is like the I
It's
don't
the
know.
Loster Zone.
This is like the fucking. This is like the. I can't think of a good name for it that's like actually relevant offhand. This is cast off into space. I don't know, and then that will also be like, oh, this is like the even more permanent version of the Lost Zone until they start then making stuff that's like, oh, retrieve card. That's like, oh, draw a card from like the cast off into space pile.
Oh god.
And it's
If
just
you have
gonna
any
be.
Pokemon in space, like
God, I hate now that they're probably going to do that at some point. That is exactly the kind of shit they would do at this point.
it feels like some Yu-Gi-Oh ass shit, to be fair.
It is definitely verging on Yu-Gi-Oh territory, or at least like it was at times for a while there. Like, it's not quite Yu-Gi-Oh, because Yu-Gi-Oh has like your literally like turn
Oh
one
my fucking
combos,
god.
but
I hate it.
Pokemon had some shit that was like maybe 2 or 3 turns, like depending how like lucky you are or how unlucky they are. For a while there, that was like really annoying. I kept like trying to push out the nose, and I just felt like massive snot bubble just explode in there. God, I gotta blow my nose now. That was nasty.
But that's fair.
Describing that on stream was probably you're welcome for that. Barometric pressure, yeah, like the air pressure and stuff. That also definitely affects it. Like, that was another thing of, like, I think that was kind of covered under, like, weather back in North Dakota, but, like, the general, like, air pressure changed a lot as well as a result of, like, how frequently the temperature changed and, like, how quickly storms came and went and stuff, like the pressure was just constantly changing so much as well, which also definitely didn't help. This is interesting. I haven't heard of any of these. What are they called again?
Oh, swamp cycling?
Keywords.
Like keywords?
I haven't heard of
Swamp
these three
cycling?
yet. It seems
Swamp cycling.
It seems
I think
expensive
you can pay
though. Like 7 mana
so
for this. Is it worth it?
yeah,
Probably
so it's 7 mana to take it out.
not.
Swamp cycling, you can pay 2 mana to like put that card in the graveyard, go get a swamp out of your deck. Which is useful in a way to mitigate that 7 cost and be like, I don't need this in my opening hand because I won't be able to play it.
Search
I
your
need another
library
land.
for like a single swamp card though. This seems very
A single swamp card is very
expensive.
useful.
Yeah, but you need 2 of them to even play the thing. At least
Yeah,
2.
but if you're getting
considering
no
the 5.
land and you're like, shit, I need a land. I'm not saying that card like specifically is.
How are you gonna play it to begin with no land though? Like this seems too expensive when like a lot of cheaper cards do equally strong things.
Yeah. Menace also means it needs to be blocked by 2 creatures. What is that backup thing? When this creature enters the battlefield,
it doesn't
put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. It also gets 2+1/+1 counters on either it or anything else.
Like this doesn't sound terrible, but it doesn't sound great either. It just kind of seems
It's pretty alright.
like I'm
It's
sure
nothing
it has
fantastic,
it
you're
probably
saying.
has its use in some very specific kind of deck, but I don't think it's going to be too helpful for our purposes.
Yeah, for the most part, there'll probably be like something you'll want that does something better.
Like, see here, we get backup 1 and Death Touch for just 1 forest and 2 of anything else.
But it's a 2/1.
Yeah, but the 2 doesn't really matter with Death Touch, right?
Not particularly, unless you want to do like a lot of damage directly to the player. I just mean like the costs definitely have their like, you know, the lower cost will be weaker obviously, but
Yeah, like this seems like more efficient for what it is. If that makes sense.
yeah, I mean maybe for 3 mana. It feels like because you can got like 1/1s for 1 with Death Touch. Like 1 forest, you get a 1/1, it has Death Touch. The backup 1 for an extra 2 mana with like 1 extra, you know, power, maybe. Again, not bad, not excellent, adequate.
Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Could that be helpful? Maybe. Remember, there's that 1 card that like gets like stronger with like the more creatures die. So you sacrifice a creature with this, and then that will also go off, right?
Mm-hmm.
God god, yeah, I feel like my nose is like, oh god, there's like so much pressure in there. Holy shit, that feels weird.
And I really feel like I need to do something. I didn't realize it's been like 2.5 hours and I've just kind of been here
Oh, sorry,
talking.
I should probably pick up the pace so we can get to the match at the end, huh?
It's up to you. It's just that I noticed your nose seems to be getting a bit worse. I don't know if you want to like hang on for too much longer, but
Well, if it's getting this much worse, but it's also, like, relieving more often, I think that's a good sign
oh, that's
that we're
good.
coming to the end of it, right?
Yeah, it's finally getting out.
Yeah, exactly. Deals combat damage to a player if it has fewer than 4+1. Put a +1/+1 on it. If it has exactly 4, search your library. That seems a bit situational, but it is also, again, pretty cheap. And does also come with Menace. So maybe it could be useful in, like, some situations. Like, searching out, like,
That
any
doesn't sound
card.
great.
Searching out, like, any card specifically, even if it does require, like, very specific timing, could be handy, maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out once we, like, get through everything and actually start putting the deck together. I'm sorry if you don't feel like you're contributing much. I swear, I'll get.
Oh no, it's your nose is making noises
Oh,
on stream.
sorry, the microphone. I didn't even think of that. Let me take like the headphones off while I do this. I'm so sorry. I didn't think that would actually get picked up by the mic.
That's all cool. I figured I'd let you know just for
I
your
had
stream's
no
sake.
idea. Sorry, like no wonder you were trying to like get away.
I wasn't trying to get away. I was just trying to casually nudge you just so you know, not like yeah. I'm just trying to be mean. Hope you have a friend in chat saying "Bunui."
God, my ear popped for that one. Oh yeah, the ears are really popping. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm back now, finally. Have you ever blown your nose so hard that your ears pop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely a pressure thing. Like, I feel so much better now after finally relieving that. Also, the Fen is here. Yay! Welcome, Fox. Other Fox. Two foxes in chat. Will they laugh? Will they scrim? Anyway, back to the game. Okay. Need to pick up the pace here. Blue card, don't care. Blue, don't care. Red, don't care. 2 life and gain 2 life. 3/2, but for 3 mana. Again,
Oh,
that
it's a
kind of
Phyrexian
seems...
fox.
Also, yeah, Fox. Speaking of foxes, as for the utility in the deck, though, it does kind of feel like it falls into that just awkward range again, where it's like, it's not terrible, but it's like just a bit expensive for what it is compared to other stuff. Like Fox, though, very cool. Also, Wild Card, that's good. Another Death Rattle Oni, that's good. The Kenrith's Royal Funeral. Excuse me. Apparently the nose and ears weren't the only thing. I had to burp there as well. God, my body just must have had a lot of pressure building up inside.
Yeah.
When the Kenrith's Royal Funeral enters the battlefield, exile 2 target legendary creature from your graveyard. Draw X cards and lose X life. But legendary spells cost 1 less. Yikes, that is a big risk for what feels like not a lot of payoff. I guess they did say that, like, the last life point that matters, or like the only life point that matters is your last one, but like exile, God, you need to also have lost 2, or like get, or at least like somehow get 2 legendary creatures into the graveyard too to even use this. Plus 4 mana. That seems very expensive. I'm analyzing all of these on like risk versus reward, benefit, cost, what's the term?
Something like that, I think. Hello. Earth must feed.
Earth must feed. Hello, a new person. That sure is an interesting username. Invasion of Muruganda. +1/+1 creature. Fights one target creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature gets +2/+2, but loses all abilities. I'm not sure about anything that like loses abilities. I feel like the good mix here is like adding like attack and defense, but also like stacking a bunch of abilities too, right? Like losing those
I mean,
abilities is
that could technically spread to opponents' cards and make them useless.
it could, but then it still makes them like +2/+2, which is still
Yeah,
strengthening them a little,
but
which could backfire.
sometimes that could be worth it. It
Maybe.
could, but for the if it's a really strong effect and you just like that thing needs to die.
Probably.
Oh, the worst part of building flavor-based decks. I wonder. Never enough rats?
Each equal to the number of lands you control. Destroy target non-elf creature with power X or less, where X is the number of lands you control. I don't think this deck is going to have too much room for like a ton of lands and stuff, is it? Like, we've got a lot of other stuff going on already. Like, we're gonna have like our forests, our swamps, our plains, and then like maybe a couple other special lands to give some sort of effect. Lifelink. If you gain life, destroy up to that many +1/+1 counters. Definitely keeping an eye on that one too. That's valid. We can probably raid someone soon and then just like continue playing offline if that works.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I should like raid out at this point. Having to cut out the good cards like Celebrate the Harvest. Oh, that was reading them. I need to check chat more often. I'm so used to chat not being very active that I got in the habit of like only occasionally checking it.
That's where the second monitor comes in handy, honestly. Or like the phone app or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's time to. It's fine. I'm kind of surprised how long I've been going myself. Like I've not made it this long in a long time. Like I think this is a clear sign that like A, my energy levels are definitely returning, and B, I'm actually enjoying this.
Yeah, you're even pushing through that like pressure thing or whatever, like.
Yeah, that like my nose and ears just decided to like get like stuck, and I had to like force the air. God, I hate when that happens. Okay, you know what would be maybe you know what would be really funny, but maybe kind of dickish. If I ended it without revealing the last card in this pack. Just like cliffhanger blue ball. Should I do it?
It's like, alright, we'll see you. Oh yeah, I hate having to cut out all the good cards. So making a commander deck, right? And you're like, I need more land, but I also need more creatures and spells, but I also need more land. I can take out 2 land, and then all of a sudden you get games where you just fucking get no goddamn land ever, and it's like,
Oh
I
my
took
god,
out
that's
2, I swear!
that's another thing that I really struggle with Pokemon as well. Is it's like one game I struggle to get enough energy, so then I have to cut something to add like just a couple more energy, but then I don't get enough of something else, and it's such a balancing act. I lost I lost half my viewers after joking about after joking about after joking
Rating out?
not rating out, but like blue balling them by not revealing the last card before ending stream.
Oh?
I literally saw the view count go from 6 to 3.
Unfortunate.
Those of you who have actually stuck around through my stupid bullshit, you've earned it. You deserve it. Let's actually reveal it now. Holy, that's a creature of quite the variety. Doesn't seem super helpful for what we're going for, though. Okay, now I'm gonna raid out. Oh, there's a lot of people live right now that aren't live super often. Huh, who do I choose? Maybe Ash, you still there? Got one last decision for you to make.
Ye?
Resident Evil 4, Dungeons and Dragons, or Terraria?
I mean, I'm pretty big on Resident Evil. I fucking was speedrunning that game when it came out, the remake.
Alright, we'll raid the person playing Resident Evil then.
Alright.